Omahyanatimanasya chinam shnam shnakya Shakshu unmilitam yena tasmai shigave namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskatyai Desatarane Srila Prabhupada Ki. So with this presentation, I want to prepare students for their Bhaktivedanta thesis. We use the word thesis, but that's not really correct. Srila Prabhupada uses more the word treatise. A thesis means we are going to prove something, but Prabhupada said many times, we don't have to prove anything. The research is already done by the previous acharyas. So what's the purpose of this treatise? A treatise is meant to bring up a crucial question, a principle which we want to show how this principle is true and confirmed by the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada, the previous acharyas. So that's very important to understand. This thesis has nothing to do with a thesis they use they write in the academic world, that there they have to prove something. We don't have to prove anything. Therefore, in such a thesis, this treatise, Bhaktivedanta Treatise, we don't use words like claiming or arguing. That's not a Vaishnava behavior. No, research is done. We are only confirming what we have learned from the Bhagavatam, a certain principle, and now this is confirmed by the previous acharyas and the teachings of the Bhagavatam. Now the structure of the thesis. You have a front page, a page with acknowledgements, a preface, an introduction, chapters. Usually 3-4 chapters is sufficient. And then the final conclusion, and then a biography. Now, the front page is very simple. VIHE Bhaktivedanta Course. You put your title in the middle of the page. Then at the bottom, your name and the year of submission. Acknowledgements. That's a page on which you just offer gratitude to all those who assisted you in the thesis, who helped you. In the preface, you begin with Mangala Charana, that seeking the blessings of the spiritual master Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas. And you write in the preface what you inspired to do some sastric research on the chosen topic. Then the introduction. The introduction is very important. This is 1/3 of your complete work. So if your thesis is 50 pages, this will be 22, 23 pages. This is very important. In the beginning, you mention a crucial question. This is the question that you will answer in your treatise. That's like you have a crucial question that you want to demonstrate how suffering is seen by devotees as Krishna's mercy, and how and why that is. That's like, you can choose any principle of the Bhagavatam, but make it concise, very clear, and quote from the beginning, quotes from Srila Prabhupada, from these acharyas that show how this is true in your crucial question. Where Prabhupada says this, and then you explain, I want to prove this. This statement is on the basis of the Bhagavatam, and how this is true. You deepen out the subject and you show how this is true based on the teachings of our previous acharyas. You don't have to add something new. That should be clear. Then the methodology, you have in 1-2 pages, you have to explain your methodology. How did you do your research? That's the first thing. That you went to Prabhupada's books, you listened to lectures. What's the method you used? Our method is, of course, Sabda Brahman, that transcendental sound vibration from the Bhagavatam. That's our main method. But then, how to understand this in the correct way? How to understand it in the correct way, and yes, that you can use logic, but based on the logic used by the previous acharyas. Don't make your own logic. That Sri Jiva Goswami, you find many times in his commentary, is using Anuman logic. But all the Bhaktivedanta students had to follow the Shastric Advisory Council Hermeneutics course. It's good to go to that course and look at all these methodologies and use those that you will apply in your thesis. You need to study these documents. That will be very helpful. And then you have to write a literature review. Every book from Prabhupada of the previous acharyas you used, you should explain, give a summary of that book, what it is about first, and which verses, which sections you have used in your research and were important for your research and why. You should also give a little biography of each of the authors. So usually this literature review is most part of your work, because everything you will say and use all the arguments from our previous acharyas, all the points they make, they should already be in that literature review. And then there's a chapter overview. The chapter overview, each chapter you give a summary from what you will present. So students have written an outline in the beginning, but first they have to discuss or present a crucial question and write this introduction. That is the first thing to be done. And when that is approved by the mentor, then you can write everything and work it further out. Chapters. So I recommend 3-4 chapters. Begin each chapter with explaining the story you will tell. You will tell the reader in this chapter, and how it relates to the crucial question that in the beginning you mentioned. How does it relate to to the crucial question. This treatise you are writing is a story you are telling. It's a story you are telling to a reader. And in a story, one point is connected with the other. So when you write the middle part, you have to go from one point to another and connect them with each other. Don't leave them disjointed. Should be connected, one story. And a chapter can be 10 pages, 15 pages, 18 pages, maximum 20 pages. And at the end, you conclude the chapter with mentioning the main point of Siddhanta, confirmed by our acharyas, that you are presenting in your work. This last paragraph is important. It's a conclusion, what we have learned from Prabhupada's teachings, and how is that supporting the answer to the crucial question. So each chapter should have this introduction, this middle part, this conclusion. This conclusion is important because if you have 3-4 chapters, from each chapter, the last chapter is the conclusion. And then these conclusions of these 3 chapters, you put together in one paragraph in the conclusive chapter as the answer of your crucial question in the beginning, in your introduction. And then at the end, you have to mention a biography. It's a list of all the books that you use, the books or whatever sources. It's an alphabetic list per author, followed by the year of publication, the title of the book, the publisher, just an entire list. At the end here, some recommendations. Do not use artificial intelligence to write your treatise. Use it only as a spelling corrector. But even then, you have to be careful because artificial intelligence thinks in the bodily concept of life. If you tell it, it doesn't know the word false ego. It will translate it in ego, which is wrong in our context. It uses for a thesis words like to operate, to claim, to argue. It's not suitable in Vaishnava literature. You have to be very careful. Don't use big words in your treatise. Simple language like Prabhupada. So again, I repeat, you don't have to prove something with your treatise. Research, Prabhupada said, has already been done by the previous acharyas. You only have to show how your crucial question is true and confirmed by the teachings of Prabhupada and Srimad Bhagavatam. It must be firm, situated in Siddhanta. The thesis should ideally be in a range of 12,500 to 20,000 words. Usually 3 chapters are ideal. Be concise, avoid repetition, present a clear storyline, and connect the end of every chapter with the next. It must be one story. So, this is the presentations. Now, stop the recording.